Continuing our coverage from Spannabis 2024 in Barcelona, Spain, I had the opportunity to meet with Chris from Xtreme Gardening. Viewers of our Growing Made Easy series already know that I use Mykos wettable powder for my mycorrhizal inoculant, and in this video we go in-depth on Mykos as well as Azos, a beneficial bacterial inoculant with which I haven't previously had any experience. If you're new here, welcome. Please take a minute to click like, smash that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming Spannabis and educational growing content. I'm Dr. Judd with GreenCert MD. Let's get into it. Hey guys, well we're now joined by Chris with Xtreme Gardening. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
And so, these are products that we use that I've actually been featuring in our Growing Made Easy series right now.
Appreciate it.
Typically I have used Mykos, and I'm not as familiar with the Azos. So I was wondering if you could tell us about Azos and Mykos.
For sure. So Mykos is our number one selling product. It's a single species mycorrhizal inoculant. So it's literally attaching to the roots at the cellular level, growing out into the media, grabbing onto food and water, and feeding it back to the plant more efficiently. So it's like putting cotton balls on the tips of your roots to suck up more food and water. So it's a really easy one to apply at transplant, whether you're in cocoa, soil, forming a symbiotic relationship with the plant will continue to grow and colonize throughout the life of the plant. So the more you use it, every time you uppot transplant, the more that colony is going to take off and the higher success you're going to have. But maximizing the capabilities, increasing yields, secondary metabolites, so anything from fruits, veggies, trees, it's capable of assisting with the uptake. Azos is my favorite of our products. It's a bacteria versus Mykos being a fungus. It's a nitrogen fixing bacteria, so it's literally pulling nitrogen out of the atmosphere that we're breathing, converting it into a form that the plants can absorb. So upwards of 40% of the plants need nitrogen in the early stages, so it really helps with transplant shock. But can also be used as early as propagation. Another thing that it's doing is catalyzing the release of indole-3 acetic acid, which is the plant's natural growth hormone. So it's basically massaging the plant into producing more natural hormone, i.e. more roots. So Azos from propagation through early vegetative phases, keeping the plants perkier, happier, and healthy with that nitrogen fixation, but then helping promote IAA, the natural growth hormone. So you can use it for cloning gel for a more natural organic versus your classic IBA. You can make a solution for soaking your rock wool cubes, your peat moss plugs to soak into that. So then as soon as that cutting is introduced, it's going to suck up in there and then start assisting with that nitrogen fixation and then promoting root growth. So Mykos and Azos, really easy. I always mix them together, transplant at the same time, and technically that's all you got to do, and they will continue to do their work at that point.
Awesome. And so, so you use these every time you transplant?
Yes.
Do you use them at other times during the growth phase?
Realistically, for it being a focus on the root zone, the earlier the better. Once the plant starts focusing more upwards, once you get into flowering stages, it's basically done its job and has created that network, and it's still working. Mycorrhizae is known really well for transporting phosphorus and potassium, so by having that extension of the network, all of the nice expensive fertilizers and nutrients everybody's using, you're getting more out of it because of the efficiency of the uptake. So use it early on. You can technically add more, maybe upwards of into week 2 of flower, but primarily you want to be using these from the very beginning to build that network.
Awesome. And so I know that you have the Mykos regular form, and then you also have a wettable powder.
Yeah, so The regular form is our granular form. Easy, very porous, a lot of biology on each little granule, but we also mill it down into a powder. So if you've already transplanted or prefer to mix it with water, it's not fully soluble, but you can definitely mix it with water. So once you've got your plant in its final home and you want to add more biology, or maybe you had to run some hydrogen peroxide or some other products to kill off some negative pathogens, you can re-inoculate or increase the amount of biology in there by mixing with water and watering in. So Azos and Mykos WP are a really easy one to mix with water and water in after the fact.
Well, I really like that product because it's something that all too often I will be transplanting clones and I will get done transplanting them all and then suddenly realize I didn't use my Mykos.
Yep.
And so the Mykos WP is kind of a way to save that. You're able to basically add it, come back and water.
If you didn't have
plants.
the time, or you forgot, or some people just like, there's a lot of other people just like the consistency of the powder, or being able to mix the two together because they're both in that similar powder form. Mix it with water, water it in. It's a lot more efficient. Nothing beats direct root contact as far as the efficiency of the relationship starting, but yeah, sometimes you don't want to scoop 2,000 times. You just want to mix it with some water and water it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, good. Well, like I said, we love the products. We've been using them. We've got at least the Mykos in our Growing Made Easy series.
Awesome.
And I'm going to have to look into adding Azos because this is something I haven't been previously using.
It makes a big difference. And really, if you think about it, Mykos is attaching to those roots. So if this is helping produce more hormone, more roots, that's giving Mykos more roots to attach to. So it's really that 1-2 punch combo of using the two together really amplifies more than the great results you see with Mykos.
Yep. Well, good. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by the booth.
And we'll be bringing you more coverage here from Spannabis. And thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
I really appreciate Chris from Xtreme Gardening taking the time to chat with me, and I look forward to our incorporation of Azos into a future growing series. If you enjoyed this content, please take a minute to leave a comment below and share the video with a fellow grow aficionado. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon, link in the description below. Our Patreon supporters are automatically entered into our monthly giveaways for things that everybody wants, and have direct access to me and my team for all of their growing questions. So that's it for now, and until I see you again, puff, puff, and pass it on.
Well, hey guys, we're now joined by Chris from let me do that again. See,
You did that on purpose, yeah.